So we're just going to have a really informal conversation about you, about your organizations, about your work.
I'm still full-time in Oceanus, and right now we are just continuing our projects on mangrove restoration.
I haven't actually spent much time in mangroves. So
Yeah.
tell me what is amazing to you about mangroves.
In mangrove forest, like it's amazing to see so much wildlife. So I think that's kind of the nice thing in mangroves, like so mysterious. You see a forest, but you don't know how, like, so many animals in it that it's just they're so camouflaged. Like it was impossible to see them until I got a wildlife specialist to take photos. I see mangroves as super undervalued by people.
And so tell us about your organization. Would you say that it's really at this intersection between oceans and climate?
So we started small, we didn't think about it. And then later on, we realized, like, we're working in coastal and we are also intersecting in climate because it's climate mitigation, as well as it involves a lot of communities that will be protected. But we didn't think about it. Our issue was only like very scientific. We need to teach the communities where to plant, what species to plant, to make sure their efforts and their time are not being wasted. It was more like that, like because they get livelihood from planting. But later on, with so many communities we interact with, so many like other NGOs we interact, we saw like, oh wow, this is the restoration is more than just planting. It's really like asking communities, what is your objective? Why do you need mangrove forests? And then of course then they mentioned we need it for storm protection, right? And Philippines, we always get typhoons every year. I mean, it's already raining every day here in Manila. So and these communities live nearby the coasts. So two-thirds actually of the population of the Philippines live near the coast. So imagine that they are super vulnerable to climate impacts. And so we realized, our work is actually really intersecting climate mitigation and also, protecting communities, and as well as, the restoration, like the ocean as well. So yeah, actually just recently we just kind of like when we talk in the team, we just kind of like we're attacking different sustainable development goals here.
All in one. It's great.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
If you've managed to feel like you've landed after the UNOC, if you've processed what has happened, and if it was quite hectic for you, yeah, how was it?
Really interesting topics, a lot of innovations, and I didn't get to listen to a lot, um, but we were able to get enough for partnerships for the organization.
I know you were a speaker at the
Yeah,
Ocean Leader event, so just tell
yeah,
us about your participation there.
yeah. So I intentionally, like, I started to just want to participate because I just wanted to really learn a lot on the new advancement in ocean and a lot of like technology or the new kind of studies that have been done in the other side of the world and maybe can be implemented in the Philippines. And I reached out, and Rafael was saying that it's very timely that I emailed because just like a day after our conversation or our meeting, there was a grant. So because I was saying like, okay, I need to I will apply whatever it is. I just need the funding to go, right? So they chose me to represent Asia Pacific. So that was a funding from the Ministry of Japan to UNESCO, and as an ECOP, or the early career ocean professional, I was able to participate. But in order for me to um, be there or be funded, I have to speak in one of the panels. So again, that was another one that I have to reach out to all of the organizations that I know of. And if there is a topic on blue carbon or blue carbon conservation, mangroves, or community based, I would be happy to speak about it, and A funny thing, like a friend of mine who's been also in the international field is like, don't worry, Camille, I can see your name in the emails. Like it's been going around. And I'm like, oh my God. I think just for me to actually be sponsored outside to go to the Ocean Conference. So uh lucky enough, Rafael was able to find Bertarelli Foundation to include me in the panel, and it was supposed to be just the Indian Ocean, but they included kind of like general global South developing countries to be included in that panel. So that was kind of very timely.
Your panel was 3 ECOPs and 3 more established, experienced
Yeah.
professionals. And did you think there were any other panels like that?
None that I have attended, because I had to look through all the side events, and there were none about bringing young leaders, because they do have the youth innovation forum prior to the Ocean Conference. So some of my colleagues that are in the same ocean, leaders that together with me, they were in the innovation forum, but I did not see them in the Ocean Conference. So that was also something that this event or this side event made it more special, more unique, because you have the young leaders in here, but not even in any side events that I've seen. Yeah.
Were you nervous about being part of a panel and being in an event with Asha DeVos as well? I'm sure you know of her. She was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think the good thing in ECOP during that time was we had a prior meeting before that event. So having the prior meeting made it um, everyone chill, everyone having some beer and like some, just getting to know each other. So during the panel, it wasn't stiff. Yes, I was kind of nervous also because Dr. Sylvia Earle was there, and it was also cold. So for me, it was like freezing at 8 a.m. and I'm
It
not
was
used to
early
it.
in the
So
morning, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was early in the morning and I was in sandals. I mean, I didn't, like they say Portugal is warm. And like, okay, what is warm in Portugal? It's not as Philippines, right? This was my first panel, but COP was my first speaking like in a side event just alone. So that was something also nerve-wracking in my end. But at least with this one, you're able to, it's more of a discussion. It's more of like, what is your experience?
Do you have any advice for anyone that's doing their first panel or their first speaking event as an ECOP? You said like get people together beforehand, maybe
Yeah.
calm the nerves.
Just be who you are and be ready as well. Sometimes, like, well, this is because I learned from COP, and COP, I was so nervous that I wasn't ready. I was so nervous, I don't know what to talk. And I think whoever is going to be in the panel, or who will be invited in that, they will always have to think that you'll never get another chance. So you have to be ready on this moment, like full on, like, if you have questions, you already have to answer them, put it in your heart, and like, like it's nice to be ready, and so that when you are in the panel, you'll be able to really say what you want to say, and then you don't regret later on, because there's always that, what is it, like a speaker's guilt, when you're not able to say what you want to say, like there's a term on that. So I had that in COP26, so I do not want to like feel that again. So just always be ready, and always think that this will be your, think of it as this your last time to be in that. So you want to make sure that just be who you are and be ready to answer the questions, and just be truthful to what you see as well.
That's really great. Thank you. I think it's something that you learn as an ECOP, right? How
Yeah,
to engage and how to present yourself, and
exactly.
it's a journey, right? So
Yeah.
you're doing amazing. Would you say those two things are pretty synonymous with the challenges that ECOPs face? Accreditation to go to these conference and then the funding to get there? Would you say that most people, especially
Yeah, actually, with for example, there was an ECOP, an ECOP who was supposed to I'm not sure if she's even an ECOP, like one of the panelists. She was not able to actually come to Portugal because of the visa issues. So it was really something on I think on the visa, like funding wise, we might, that's always been like, it's always been that problem. But I think the acceptance for visa, and as well as, like accreditation, because it's a lot of paperworks as an organization to to file this. As if you're a small organization, you don't have the 2 years annual financial statement, then you cannot, you can't enter. So those are kind of the restrictions sometimes.